How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys do not miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. If you guys would also please head over to Twitch, follow me there at Douglas447. Stream there at least once a week. You guys can also find me on Discord at 6957. And we're going to be talking about Andor Season 1 positives and negatives. So at the time we are recording this video, Andor Season 1 is currently a Disney Plus exclusive. We are confirmed to get a Season 2. Unfortunately, it's not going to come out until 2024. At the time we're recording this video, it is late November in 2022, and the whole season has released all 12 episodes. You can watch them all. And the show takes place 5 years before the events of the Rogue One film. And as a fan of Rogue One, I was really hopeful that the show was going to give us something fresh and innovative, something that we haven't really seen in Star Wars recently, especially since Disney has bought it. Everything that has happened under Disney's control has always been Jedi versus Sith, and we really just haven't gotten anything with just grounded character development. I mean, just normal average day citizens trying to live under Imperial control or fighting for survival during the sequel trilogy with the First Order. I am happy to say that this was a great show. It is another Rebellion era show, but it's good. It's better than the Book of Boba Fett. It's better than the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Now, I will say, a lot of people are going to be like, the show is just really slow, it's really boring, there's nothing that happens. Well, if you don't enjoy a slow build-up to a satisfying conclusion, then the show is not for you, plain and simple. But if you like a show that is slow, it's adult, gritty, dark, allows for you to spend time with the B-tier characters from cameos that we've seen in the past and deal with new characters instead of just focusing on Jedi versus Sith, then you're going to like this show. The show also focuses on senates, the start of the rebellion, and everyday life for everyday people under Imperial rule. The show is just a really well-grounded show that deals with everyday things. The show feels like a movie, and I would encourage you to watch all 12 episodes. Just binge watch it. It's going to make it a much better experience. The show is just gritty. It feels like Blade Runner. We get a lot of great visuals, a lot of walking and talking. The acting is 100% spectacular. And within the first 10 minutes of the first episode, you understand that this show is mature. You understand, okay, this is not your average, watch Star Wars with your 10-year-olds type of show. This is a show that is kind of like Game of Thrones, the Star Wars edition, but without all the gross, gratuitous things. There's no nudity. There's none of that stuff. So I'm going to dive into every single episode and give you guys a score for every episode. And at the very end, I will give you guys a average overall score for the whole show. So first of all, episode 1, I'm going to give it a 7. It's just a lot of walking and talking. Same thing with episode 2, a lot of walking and talking, just traveling to places and, laying the foundation for the show. Episode 3 is where things finally start kicking up, and I'm going to give it a 9. It makes the good and the bad guys a lot more complex and interesting with more backstory, and there's some gray moments. We actually get some action. It also shows that the security forces on the main planet that we are in actually just want law and order, and they truly believe that the Empire is the best law and order in the galaxy, and that the rebellion is only responsible for death and destruction. And you can understand where both sides are coming from, and you kind of want both sides to win. Obviously, one's going to triumph over the other because this is a prequel to the Rogue One movie and a prequel to the original trilogy. Episode 4, I'm giving it a 9 as well. We get to see Coruscant, numerous Easter eggs, including Starkiller's armor. The show continues to just, add more adult drama and stuff like that. We get more character development. We get to see what life is like on Coruscant under the Imperial control. We get to see the ISB, and we get to see a lot more of the Star Wars universe being built up during that episode. Episode 5, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a build-up episode to a heist. We learn that Mon Mothma has a daughter. A lot more character interactions and development. And I will say this episode had probably the best sound design when it comes to the TIE fighters when they're whooshing past everybody and just, doing their normal scouting routines. Episode 6, I'm going to give it a 9.5. We finally get the heist, and it does a great job of showing the horrors of war and what it takes in order to feed the rebellion and get the rebellion currency so they can build up their fleet and be able to do what they have to do, which is blow up the Death Star. Episode 7, I'm going to give it an 8. Just felt like a lot more politics, a lot of people talking. We do get some lore, but it's like it really drops from the past episodes. Episode 8, I'm also giving it an 8. We get to see an Imperial prison. They make two characters gay for no reason. It doesn't add anything to their characters. It's not revisited later, and it doesn't push the plot forward at all. It's just a really unnecessary moment that happens, and I do want to point that out because some people will be offended by that, so do be aware of that. We do get a lot of new characters and some older characters, and some of them are finally starting to meet up, which was really great. I was like, okay, we got all these characters the show has. When are they going to meet up and collide? Are we going to get that at all, or are all these characters going to do their own thing? But with episode 8, they finally starting to mix and mash, which makes everything from the first 7 episodes finally start to have some sort of payoff. Episode 9, I'm going to give it a 9 as well. The show finally gets back to its darker tone. We get to see more of the Imperial prison, a lot more character revelations and connections, and a character does die. Episode 10 is probably the best episode in my opinion. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. We get to see the prison revolt and escape. We had some amazing character moments and some amazing character dialogue and some really cool revelations. And I think it's just the best episode. Episode 11, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 as well. Episode 11 gets a 10 out of 10. But it just, it's a different type of 10 out of 10. Andor's mom does die. We get a really short epic space battle and some great dialogue, but I felt like episode 10 had a much bigger payoff and scope and lore building when it comes to the whole Star Wars universe. Episode 11 is a good 10 out of 10 episode just within the show itself. But it doesn't add much to the Star Wars universe when it comes to episode 11. And episode 12, I'm going to give it a 9.5. It's a great finale to season 1. We get to see where all the characters, or at least nearly all the characters, they finally clash in an epic showdown during a Spark of Rebellion on a home planet. It does leave a lot of questions for season 2, and there is a post-credit scene where we get to see what the Imperial prison that we visited throughout the show is building. I won't spoil it. I want you guys to actually watch it. Obviously, you can go onto YouTube and you can watch, the mid-credit scene online, and it'll show you what Andor and some of his friends that ended up joining the rebellion were building in the prison as far as parts. So, if you can understand, parts. They're building parts for what, I wonder? Interesting. I had a gigantic rumor that it was going to be what it was going to be, and I was kind of satisfied. And it kind of is ironic that the thing that Andor and his friends build kind of leads to their demise. So, I won't tell you what it is, but I think you guys could probably understand what it is based on what I am saying. So, overall, I think Andor is a very great show. It's not the best show. A lot of people are saying Andor is the best Star Wars show ever made when it comes to live action. I still prefer The Mandalorian because even though The Mandalorian has some slower parts, it doesn't take too long to get to the lore and the world building and then finally to some action sequences. Andor is a much slower burn type of film. It is something that you have to sit down and be completely engaged with. Otherwise, you're going to miss a single scene. You'll miss a single scene or an important piece of dialogue, and within 10 minutes, you're going to be completely lost and confused. So, I'd still prefer The Mandalorian. Andor is probably my second favorite show when it comes to the Disney Plus era for live action shows. But still, Clone Wars outranks everything. Clone Wars, I don't think is ever going to get beaten. So overall, I'm going to give Andor Season 1 a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. When Season 2 does drop and all the episodes come out, I will review that for you guys. I am planning on reviewing Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 when that drops, along with the Ahsoka show, and of course Mandalorian Season 3, and whatever else comes out Star Wars related. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye, guys.